Hey, it's Cousin Tim from Missouri. What we're going to do today is a while back we were in Springfield and we ate at a restaurant up there, and for an appetizer they had these little fried pork bites. The waiter described them to us as they cut off the end pieces of pork loins before they cut them up and make them into like pork tenderloins. They smashed them scrap pieces down to about an eighth of an inch thick, and they cut it in strips and make little cubes or pieces out of it about yay long, about an inch, inch and a half long, and they coat it in a Parmesan breadcrumb coating and deep fry it. What I'm going to do today is try to replicate that recipe because it was delicious. So stick around and we'll see if we can get that done. This will be a quick one. See you soon. So what we got here is we cut the ends off of this pork loin about an inch thick. What we're going to do is pound this out until it's about a quarter or an eighth of an inch thick. Try to get it as flat as possible, and then we're going to cut it up into some strips and make some little nuggets out of it. So just pound this out to as thickness that we want, and these things were, like I said, about an eighth of an inch thick. Doing this here is also going to break down some of the fibers in this pork and makes it really tender bite. Man, I don't even know how to describe what these things were. It was just pretty amazing. Alright, I think we got that one just about right. So I've got the other end over here. I'm going to flatten it out just like this one, and then we'll cut this into strips and see if we can get these things breaded up and see about frying them up and eating them. Be back after I get this other one done. Alright, so what we've got here is our flattened out pork loin. We're going to cut this into strips about yay wide, and bites about that big. That seems about like what theirs were like. So I'm gonna have bites about that big. Again, strips about an inch wide. That one's a little wider on the end. About an inch and a half long, probably. Cut this one into two, and it'll turn out to be just about right. All right. Again, about an inch wide, about an inch and a half long. That one's going to be a little bigger, but that's all right. Here we are in football season. The NFL starting this week. These here things will make some pretty tasty football foods, tailgating, whatever you're going to be doing. These things are pretty good. That is, if I can replicate what they did there. All right, I got this one all cut up into strips. So I'll get this one done. Then we'll get into the breading and all that stuff. And then we'll get the fryer going back here. And we'll get these things cooked up and give them a sample. Be back soon. All right, so in the interest of time, what we got here is the pork bites that we cut up there. I put them in a mixture of 1 egg and about 2 tablespoons of milk. Just coated them real good. And now what we're going to do is dredge them in this. Got 1 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs and about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper to taste, but that's basically what we got going on there. So we're gonna dredge these pork pieces in here, make little pork nuggets out of them. Parmesan pork loin bites. I don't even remember what they called them at the restaurant, but that's what we're going to call them. Parmesan pork loin bites. Rolls off the tongue. Anyway. All right, so you get the gist on breading these things up. Everybody knows how to do that. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to finish this up and be back with you when we're getting ready to stick these in the fryer over here. So be back with you in a little bit. All right, I got this pan with about 1 inch of vegetable oil in the bottom of it. On the flat top over here, running between 325 and 350. Really like it to be at 350, but I don't know if it's going to get any higher than that, but it'll be all right. So here we go. Going to go in with a few of these. Try to get ones that are pretty close to the same size so they cook at the same rate. So be a little selective on which ones I put in here at first. Probably let these go for as thin as they are. It shouldn't take, maybe 5 minutes at the most, maybe, if that long. This oil's pretty hot. Pork tenderloin cooks pretty quick. It's kind of like chicken breast. It cooks way faster than like dark portions of the meat, so this ought to go pretty quick. It might not even take 5 minutes. Maybe 3 or 4. You don't want it to burn that breading on the outside of it, so you know what they say, generally when stuff like this starts floating, they're probably done. So anyway, that's what these things look like. Nice little breaded chunk of pork. Sorry I didn't have that there in the camera shot, but nice little breaded chunks of pork. I'm going to fry these up, and then we'll get back over here, take one of them apart and taste it, and see how we did. See if we can match that recipe that we had a couple of weeks ago. So be back shortly. Well, we got those little nuggets frying over there. I had to do something with the rest of that pork loin, so it's in the smoker at 225. Been in there for about 3 hours, running about 147 internal temperature. Going to take it to 160, and we'll pull this out, slice it up, and eat it for dinner tonight. There you go, pork loin. See y'all. All right, so here we have it. We got these nice little Parmesan garlic pork loin bites, fried up nice. They went a little quicker than I figured they would. They fry up really fast because, like I said, pork cooks really fast, kind of like chicken breast. So let's give one of these things a taste and see what it tastes like. I got a little horseradish and buffalo sauce here to dip them in for something a little spicy to go with it. So let's see what we got. I think I nailed that one. These things are pretty easy to make. It's a pretty easy recipe to figure out. But you're ever in Springfield, Missouri, check out Georgia Max. It's a little sports bar, got great food, special little things like this that will really make you want to come back for more. So, or at least go home and try to figure out how to make them. But anyway, see you next time.